Sexual Assault at the University of Iowa by Nia Britt. 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted on campus every year in America. The state of Iowa versus Cedric Everson and Abe Satterfield case took place in 2007 at the University of Iowa. Two football players at the University of Iowa by the name of Cedric Everson and Abe Satterfield were both charged with sexual assault. We all know how sexual assault cases are. The victim says one thing while the alleged says another. Allegedly, Satterfield met up with a drunk female athlete one night and took her to a vacant room that he asked his teammate Everson for the key to. Satterfield then sexually assaulted the woman, and later that night Everson did the same. Satterfield stated that the victim sat on his lap outside of the dorm before they looked for a room to get privacy. He then went to the room that had been vacated by Everson. Satterfield stated that once he and the woman were in the room, she came on to him, performed oral sex, and asked whether or not he had a condom. She then helped him put the condom on to prepare to have sex. The victim never told him to stop, or nor did she confess that she was in pain. Satterfield stated, "I just really sat back, and she was the aggressor." After falling asleep with the women in the dorm room, Satterfield stated that he had been woken by Everson tapping him on the shoulder in the middle of the night, signaling that he wanted to have sexual intercourse with the woman as well. He then got out of bed and left the room, but did not know what happened after that between Everson and the woman. The next day, the victim went to report the incident between her and Satterfield to the athletic department and then the police. She then learned from the police that Everson had been bragging about having sex with her that night after she had passed out with all his teammates and friends. Everson had sex with the victim in the same room, but claimed it was consensual. The victim stated that she had passed out and was not aware of what Everson had done to her. The victim stated, "I do not think there are words to describe it. Devastated. Violated." When the victim testified against Satterfield, she stated that she had performed oral sex on him to avoid intercourse because she was still a virgin. After performing oral sex, he then pinned her down and sexually assaulted her against her own will. The victim testified, "I was telling him I did not want to do it, and it hurt so badly." Satterfield was found guilty of misdemeanor and non-sexual charge in 2010. Judge Miller threw out a second-degree sexual abuse charge that carried to 25 years in prison. It was the jury's decision to decide whether or not Everson was guilty of third-degree sexual abuse or two lesser offenses. Spies, a defense attorney, stated that all who were charged in the case acted poorly and blamed it on a toxic combination of alcohol, prescription drugs, bad judgment, immaturity, and hormones. Spies stated, "The jury looked at the whole picture and the complexity of human emotion and lack of experience of some young people. Nobody is a winner in this case, but at least some get to go home." Everson's family was happy and relieved of the final verdict. His mother stated that she agreed with the juror's decision to find him guilty of sexual assault. The two athletes were suspended from the team and then later transferred. 3 questions I would ask are, why should we care? Why is it important? And what does it tell us about college sports? Yes, we should care about sexual assaults going on around campus because it is dangerous and can change someone's life. If we do nothing to prevent these assaults, then more situations like this will happen. It is important that we get involved because one minute we may think this will never happen to us or someone we may know, then the next minute it does. When thinking of college sports, no matter how good you are or how smart you are, anything can happen. You just never know. Cedric Everson is a great example of this. We have Everson, who was a top star football player and track runner in high school and a phenom in college, as well as being an honor roll student in both high school and college. No one would have ever stopped to think that he would ever do anything like this. So like I stated before, we just never know what can happen.